All right, welcome to 2.7% of change. We're going to be finding the percent of change. It's a ratio, and the formula for that is going to be the new minus the original divided by the original. So if you look up here, it says how much did it change divided by the original amount. Doing that new minus the original is what's giving us that how much it changed by. So if it's a percent of increase, it means that you're getting, it's going to be a positive percent. Percent of decrease is going to have a negative percent. So let's try 1A here. The new is 30. The original is 66. I'll be dividing by 66. So that's going to give me, let's see, if we do 30 minus 66, that's going to be negative 36. And negative 36 divided by 66 is going to give me negative 0.54. That's just a decimal. To get it to be a percent, I'm going to multiply by 100. So you might add that to your formula over here, times 100. Or just move your decimal point over 2 points. And it's going to be a negative 54%. Which makes sense. A negative percent would mean it's a percent of decrease. That makes sense because I had 66 and I went down to 30, so I decreased the amount that I have. Alright, now sometimes we'll be working this problem kind of backwards, which will be a little confusing. So for example, this college had an increase in tuition of 5.4%. Here's the new cost, find the original cost. So let's give original cost a variable, let's say x. So if the formula is new minus the original divided by the original times 100 is what gives me the percent, and the percent this time is 5.4. That's going to be your formula. This is supposed to be a times here. Here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get rid of that 100. That was maybe potentially an unnecessary step had I just converted that percent into a decimal in the first place. Like so. 1, 2. I could have just gone like that. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is multiply both sides by x. That allows the x's to cancel. And what I end up with next is 33,408 equaling 0.054x. Oops, I forgot the minus x over here. There we go. Then what I'm going to do is go ahead and add x to both sides. And it turns out the stuff on the right is just like terms. Even though it's an ugly decimal, they're still like terms. 33,408 equals 1.054x. And I know to get a multiplier away from x, I should divide. It's supposed to be a decimal point there. Which is going to give me a grand final answer of approximately 31,696 as the original cost for that university. That's how I would solve one like that. So now let's take a peek as when we go shopping. If we have sales tax is added on to the price you pay, right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the price. Oops, that's supposed to be C. Price times the percent divided by 100. Okay, converting it into a number instead of a percent. That's going to tell you how much the tax is. So if the price is $24.99 times 6.85 divided by 100, that'll tell me how much the tax is. So $24.99 times 0.0685 is going to give me $1.71. Now that was just the tax, right? be able to do this. That was the tax. It wants to know the total cost. So all I'm going to do is take $24.99 and add it to my 171, and I'm going to end up with a happy $26.70 as my total answer. Now on the other hand, if I had a discount, that would have to be subtracting it, right? So what I'm going to do is the price times the percent divided by 100, convert it into a decimal, is going to equal the discount. That's how much money you're going to take away from the final price. So $14.89 times 40 divided by 100 is going to be $14.89 times 0.4, and $14.89 times 4 is going to be 5.95. Notice I'm rounding to the nearest penny. Now that is how much you are saving. That is not the new price. Think about this logically for a minute. 40%, that means it's not even half off. You're going to still pay more than half. Well, $14.89, roughly half of that is going to be a little over $7. Like, I don't know, $7.45. Just some quick mental math there. 40% off means that you should be paying more than $7.50. This is smaller than $7.50. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my $14.89 and subtract the $5.95 because that's what I'm saving. And the total price that I will now pay is $8.94. Don't forget that label. And that's what we do.